Howdy, howdy. TzuDevil here, and welcome to the first match between me and ShadowOnlineGaming in our epic grudge match series. And in the first match, I've got all three. I've got the Dowie. The first one is against the Orcs. I've brought, of course, Thorgrim Grudgebearer as my lord, and of course, he has the Great Book of Grudges. For my frontline infantry, I brought 4 units of Longbeards with 1 chevron. They're just meant to hold out, and I've got some on the sides in case he has stuff like this going on, with some squig hoppers in the back, and I've also got in my other backline defense 2 groups of slayers with 1 chevron to really try and hold the pocket so my Bugman Rangers can operate, and I've got 1 unit of hammers with 3 chevrons for some heavy hitters in case he brings some black orcs. The key to this build is I brought 4 units of gyrocopters. Now 2 units with the brimstone gun in case he brings arachnarok spiders or anything like that, and they're armor piercing, so they really are my armor piercing units. And on this side I've brought 2 units of gyrocopters with just the steam cannons for lightly armored infantry, and if he has a rusty arrows or anything like that. Now for his army, and by the way, I didn't pick this map. We both looked at it. It looked like it was going to be great. It is ironic that the Dwarves have an incredibly defensive position, and he's got to come up a bottleneck. But Shadow brought a great army to fight. Of course, he's got Skarsnik with his pet squig. He's got real heavy hitting infantry. He's got the Crimson Killers, Black Orcs, flanked by 2 regular units of Black Orcs, and backed up by Trolls, 3 units of Trolls. So really this is going to be his heavy hitting frontline infantry. And he brought a whole bunch of Night Goblins, and I couldn't see any of these guys. He's got 2 regular Night Goblin infantry, 2 Night Goblin archers, and of course the rusty arrows, and I couldn't see these guys at all because they have stock, of course. And in the back he has 3 units of squig hoppers with Night Goblin squig hoppers, and he's got a Durkit's Night Goblin squig hoppers as well, so he has some backline units. So we'll get this going. This battle does go by pretty quickly. I'm going to move my infantry up. I've brought my Longbeards to the side, are bringing my Longbeards back up to the front because it doesn't look like he has a whole lot on the sides. I do notice these squig hoppers, and I'm going to send some slayers out there to intercept. I still haven't seen these guys yet. I want to get my gyrocopters going on these black orcs right away, and I want to try and focus some of those black orcs down as quickly as possible. And so I've got my archers shooting in there, my Bugman's Rangers. Now I do finally see these guys, so I've got to set up a bombing run. I just want to get my infantry in place so that I can hold this big mess of armor piercing, and at least try and manage it. I've got my slayers going back here against these squigs, but he's going to juke them and go right past them. I'm bringing my other slayers back to help defend, and I've got my line coming in. I've given them orders to go forward, and I'm going to start my bombing runs. I want to get all my gyrocopter bombs off early so that I can get going, but this frontline engagement is an absolute mess. We've got a lot of armor piercing in here. I did bring in my hammers to support and Thorgrim to make sure I get that +9 buff on everybody, but he has completely juked my slayers and gotten right into my Bugman's Rangers, rear charging my Longbeards on this side, and my slayers are trying hard to catch up. So he's going to bring us another group here, and he's going to completely shut down my back line. He's got some spells going off on this side, Trixie Trap, Spite of the Bad Moon, and basically shut down my back line. My slayers are going to try and get in there, but I've already routed some of his front line, including those orcs we focused on. And that's the power of the gyrocopters, is they don't do a ton of damage, but they do debuff the units they're hitting with a -10 leadership from being hit by artillery. I'm trying very desperately to move my slayers around to try and deal with all his squigs in my back line. These Longbeards are holding out well, but my front line is starting to collapse. I've got these Longbeards who have routed. He's got some trolls through, but these trolls have very low leadership. And fortunately for me, I'm just continuously attacking with my gyrocopter into the Crimson Killers now to try and get them to rout. I've managed to rout off these squig hoppers, and I can and I'm just taking some shots into these trolls to keep them routing. I'm going to send one of my gyrocopters over there to try and keep them routing. And I'm going to do the same with these gyrocopters. I think I'm shooting at these black orcs. Yep, I just want to keep them off the field and focus on the infantry fight. I'm going to do some bombing runs in here. We've got Skarsnik up against Thorgrim. That is definitely going to be a win for Thorgrim. But we've also got the other black orcs. So I've basically been able to clear out my back line a little bit. We've got more of the squig hoppers coming. I'm going to see that and turn these Bugman's Rangers around to try and accept the charge. There we go. And with our bombs, we've definitely started some more units routing. The Crimson Killer's on the way, and we're just shooting in again out of these black orcs to try and keep them debuffed for their leadership so that we can get them to rout. We've got Skarsnik almost ready to go. We've got all of our bombs off for all of our gyrocopters, and it's kind of a big mess on in here, but there wasn't really much we could do. We've been able to rout off these rusty arrows and get them moving. We're getting right to the end of the battle. These gyrocopters have done a really good job of keeping all his units debuffed, and we've won the battle. So a Pyrrhic victory. We'll go take a look at what the end plates say. Now, again, these Longbeards were just meant to hold, and you can see these ones got absolutely dumpstered by the Crimson Killers and the Trolls. These guys were on my left side. They got 69 kills. They were fighting Night Goblins, and these guys got 9 and 15. Again, they were just there to hold. My Slayers, although they got juked pretty badly in the back, they were able to get their axes into some of them squig hoppers, and our hammers only got 33 kills, but they did gain a chevron, so they were fighting against the black orcs. And our Bugman's Rangers were completely shut down, only 13 and 9 kills. They did have lots of health left, though. The Bugman's Rangers are so robust on the edges. Really, the heroes of this battle are the gyrocopters. 61 kills and 59 for our gyrocopters with just the steam cannons. They were going up against the Rusty Arrows and his Night Goblin Archers, and we completely shut them down. We're able to rout them fairly quickly. Those steam cannons are very, very good against lightly armored infantry. And our regular gyrocopters with brimstone guns got 28 and 16 kills, and they were focused again on the black orcs. So the black orc we focused down got 21 kills. The other black orcs we never touched got 96 kills. Like black orcs are really beastly. And the Crimson Killers, which I probably should have focused on first, got 61 kills. And the Trolls that were mixed in the line got 32, 25, and 20. The big difference there was in my bombing runs. When they were debuffed with the -10 leadership from being hit with artillery, they were just in a constant state of routing. For his army, obviously the map we had was a little bit congested, which didn't work, which wasn't too bad for having 3 units of Black Orcs followed by 3 units of Trolls. They were able to really blob up and get in the middle, and he was able to buff them up with some of his abilities, which definitely made a difference. He really spent a lot of time keeping my Rangers shut down, and did shut them down with these squigs. They did a really good job of juking my Slayers, but my Slayers eventually caught up, and they both gained a chevron as well. But great little fight, great start to the 3-match series of our epic grudge matches against the Greenskins and Crooked Moon. If you haven't gone and subscribed to Shadow's channel, go and subscribe right now. He's got a unique channel. He's got great content, but he's a community organizer. He brings people together, and he's done a great job of that. Since I've subscribed to his channel, I've found other new YouTubers that I love watching, and I think you would too. Go subscribe to his channel to keep up with new YouTubers that are on the scene. He has a great YouTuber tournament that he ran 3 months ago, and I would definitely recommend that you go support his channel, subscribe, and say hi from TzuDevil. All right, so that ends the very first battle in our three-match series with Thorgrim Grudgebearer. The next 2 battles, of course, I will take different armies with different themes so that it can make them interesting. We have Skaven, and then the nasty High Elves last. So hope you found that interesting, and I'll see you soon.